Guys, we have some very big breaking news that we need to share right now with the audience. Maryland YouTuber and activist Shaun Porter has just been criminally charged as it relates to his recent protesting at Frederick Community College. Again, Maryland activist and YouTuber Shaun Porter of Hagerstown, Maryland, was just criminally charged in the District Court for Frederick County, Maryland, with a criminal statute under the Maryland Education Articles for his recent protesting and his recent demonstrations that have taken place on the campus of Frederick Community College. We just picked up this morning a copy of that application for statement of charges, which was filed by Captain Kirk Henneberry of the Frederick City Police Department last night. Another big development that we're going to bring the audience is the fact that Gianni Valinov, this is the individual, Gianni Valinov, who started the Change.com petition to have Shaun Porter removed from Frederick Community College campus. That petition right now is up to 177 signatures the last time I checked it. He gave me his official statement for the press, and we are going to bring that to you in a moment. In this press statement, in this official statement, he lays out his thoughts and his feelings relating to Shaun Porter and what he has been doing on the Frederick Community College campus. So we are going to bring all that to you, but we are first going to start with today, the big breaking news, the fact that Shaun Porter has been charged with a criminal statute in the Frederick County District Court as it relates to his demonstrations that he has repeatedly been holding on the campus of Frederick Community College. So without further commentary at this time, we are going to read aloud, hot off the press, verbatim, the application for statement of charges, which again was just filed last night, November 6, 2023, by Captain Kirk Henneberry of the Frederick City Police Department. But before we do that real quick, we are going to specifically let you know what the charge is that Shaun Porter is now facing. So the charge in particular that he is facing is a misdemeanor charge for trespassing on school grounds. It is written up as Education Article 26102, and again, that is for trespassing and refusing to leave an institution of higher learning from an incident which allegedly took place on November 2nd, 2023. So that would have been last week. So again, without further commentary at this time, we are now going to read to you verbatim the application of statement of charges that was filed against Shaun Porter, and then we're going to bring you the statement which was just given to me by Gianni Valinov, who is the author of that Change.com petition. So again, we are now going to bring you that application, and it starts off with the following. On Thursday, November 2nd, 2023, I, meaning Captain Kirk Henneberry, was at Frederick Community College to monitor protest activity and keep the peace. I was aware that Mr. Shaun Porter would be there protesting that day, and during some of his previous protests at FCC and other locations, law enforcement has been called. Mr. Porter has been at FCC on other recent dates to protest, specifically October 5th, October 19th, and October 26th. Prior to protesting at FCC on October 5th, 2023, Mr. Porter left a voicemail for Frederick County Attorney Brian Black, in which he stated, in part, quote, "I am going to have all my effing protesters at Frederick Community College. It's going to be a GD SHIT show. It's just going to be the same worldwide attention like I got for Dan's Tap House. Enjoy what's coming or effing fix it." The audio file of this voicemail has been uploaded to evidence.com. At about 12:11 hours on November 2nd, 2023, FCC Public Safety requested police to come to the quad. I walked from an atrium area into the quad area. The quad is an outdoor open space situated in the middle of campus between most of the campus buildings. I observed a small group, 4 to 5 of what appeared to be students in their late teens or early 20s. One of the male students was using a megaphone, and the group also had a radio which was playing music at a fairly high volume for a college campus, in my opinion. At that time, I saw a campus security officer speaking with Mr. Porter. Mr. Porter was several feet away from the students. The students had signs and appeared to have gathered to counter-protest Mr. Porter. It appeared the students and Mr. Porter were engaged in some back-and-forth dialogue as I was approaching. The dialogue got loud at times, and including the radio volume, it was reasonable to believe that the normal educational functions of the college could be or were being disrupted. After a few minutes, campus security officers and I got the students to be quieter and the one student to stop using the megaphone. Mr. Porter returned to an area a little farther away from the students where he had already set up some signs. At some point during the activity described above, a person spray painted and defaced Mr. Porter's protest sign, which had been left unattended for a few minutes. Lieutenant Thomas is investigating that under a separate case number. Due to the initial disturbance and the potential for more problems, I called for some additional police officers to come to the quad. Sergeant Brown, Officer Lawson, and Officer B. Snyder arrived. The quad area became more active with foot traffic. Dozens of students started gathering around, many with their attention on Mr. Porter or his signage or both. The situation in the quad became loud and disruptive again, with more students engaging, playing a loud radio, yelling at Mr. Porter, and Mr. Porter yelling back at them. Students were getting closer to Mr. Porter. Lieutenant Thomas and I stood between some of the students and Mr. Porter, and I advised a few students to not become disorderly. Campus security determined that the entire activity in the quad was disruptive to the campus functions. I agreed that this was a reasonable determination. As parties on both protest sides, some students and Mr. Porter were yelling insults and taunts loudly at each other, which was creating a contentious and disorderly situation. I also had a concern for the physical safety of some in the attendance due to the tension, as well as the right of the students and staff at work or in classes to have an orderly campus. The scene was not orderly at that point and had not been for several minutes. Campus security was going to tell everyone to leave the area with the intent to restore order. Before campus security made the announcement, I told Mr. Porter what was about to happen and that we were trying to have everyone lower the volume. FCC Public Safety Supervisor Kevin Poole made an announcement to students that the activity was causing a disturbance and he asked them to leave. The students complied and the quad cleared out. Supervisor Poole then directly requested Mr. Porter to leave. Mr. Porter voiced his disagreement, placed the blame of the disruption on the students, and did not leave. At that time, I believed there was probable cause that Mr. Porter was in violation of the Education Article 26102 for failing or refusing to leave the grounds after being requested to do so by campus security. I elected to not make an on-scene arrest for two reasons. Number one, the disturbance had ceased, and number two, in a previous phone conversation I had with Mr. Porter, where we spoke about the law, he had promised that he would resist arrest if police tried to arrest him. I did not believe there was an urgency at that point to risk injury to officers or Mr. Porter for an offense that could be charged later. Nothing noteworthy occurred during the remainder of the time that Mr. Porter was at FCC, and during that time the foot traffic in the quad was very light. Another man, Sam Rosenblum, was at FCC protesting with Mr. Porter. During my time and observation of the events, I did not observe Mr. Rosenblum engage in disruptive activity. I activated and deactivated my body-worn camera 3 separate times while I was in the quad area. Once for the initial disturbance involving the small group of students with the bullhorn and radio who were engaged with Mr. Porter, once for the growing disturbance involving more students, and once when the supervisor made the announcement for everyone to leave to restore order. The videos have been tagged and uploaded to evidence.com. I respectfully request that Mr. Porter be charged for violating the following law: Education Article 26102, and that is for trespassing on school grounds and refusing to leave. So there you guys have it right there. That is the charge, and that is the application for statement of charges, which has now been filed against Shaun Porter. So at this time, I have no way of knowing if Shaun Porter knows about this criminal charge which has been filed against him by Captain Kirk Henneberry of the Frederick City Police Department. I will try to find out. Perhaps this video will be when he finds out. I really couldn't tell you one way or the other, but certainly not a good situation for Mr. Porter. It's never a good situation to be wrapped up in any criminal procedure, as you guys can probably guess. But with all of that, I would now like to bring you the official press release statement which was provided to me last night by Gianni Valinov. Again, this is the person who is the author of the Change.com petition to have Shaun Porter removed from Frederick Community College campus. So Gianni writes to me the following: "No one is threatening his First Amendment rights. They hate him as a character, not his politics, but his actions. Leftists like this are equally as annoying. He portrays himself as a victim of the system and a martyr for some unknown cause, a political underdog abused by a communist community. Nothing could be further from the truth. His accusations of a violent criminal and communist student body are entirely unfounded. I cannot emphasize the following point enough. He is a grown man that plays the victim to violent, so-called violent college kids that take the antagonistic bait that he throws out. His veiled threats to sue FCC for heckler's veto are frankly absurd. As one of the ringleaders of the November 2nd counter-protest, I can confidently say that FCC did not work in conjunction with our group. His claim that one of our members, quote, gave him certain information is crude and baseless. The FCC community is tired of ending up in his videos to be attacked by Porter's brainless mob. They equate education to sitting in front of the Fox News channel all day. They claim that we're indoctrinated and brainwashed into an ideology that they disagree with. Isn't the inverse also true? Getting your facts from Fox and Facebook echo chambers definitely has some effect on the power of reasoning these individuals supposedly hold. They claim that the FCC community is for intellectually deficient individuals, failing to realize that Porter himself is an FCC alumnus. Shaun Patrick Porter is not an American hero. He is an online persona that craves validation and profits off of being a professional tattletale that drapes himself in the colors of the First Amendment as justification for being a narcissistic bully. The patronization and baseless political accusations must end. FCC is an educational institution. We will not tolerate disruption, hate-mongering, slander, or harassment. Porter can say goodbye to his content. There will be no more picketing from our group. We will let him rot into irrelevance. We will not give him the conflict he so desperately craves to show to his audience. His interaction rate is already waning. The thing with youth nowadays is that we get tired of things pretty fast." And that right there is the official statement from Gianni Valinov. And that is, I guess, where we wrap it up, guys. So obviously, not a very good news day for Shaun Porter, Maryland YouTuber and activist from Hagerstown, Maryland. Not a very good press statement about him from the person who started the Change.com petition. Also accompanying with this criminal charge, which he will now have to face in the district court. At this point, I don't even know if he's familiarized with the charge, but I assume at some point we will be getting his commentary and his reaction on the subject matter. Funny enough, it's Tuesday morning, and that Shaun Porter actually plans to go back to Frederick Community College today, as far as I understand. So again, we don't know what he knows at this time, but that is the breaking news. Frederick County, Hagerstown area activist Shaun Porter charged with a crime under the Education Article, Maryland statute. So Levi Trumbull reporting in Frederick County, Maryland, and we will continuously provide updates as they come. We will follow the situation, guys. Take it easy, and we'll talk to you soon.